Hey foodies, welcome and welcome back to Cooking with Kiana. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make these delicious, easy to make, juicy, double bacon cheeseburgers. Now let's get started. Alright guys, so today we're just going to be hopping right into the video. If you want direct measurements of everything, that will be listed in the description box below. But right now I'm going to start off with 80-20 ground chuck. If you are looking for a nice juicy fat burger, that is around the ratio that you want. And we're just going to go ahead and form these into little balls. And I'm going to be making about 4 of these, which means I'm going to be making 2 patties. So this is a seasoning that I'm going to be using for my patties. I'm going to be seasoning that up with 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of Cajun seasoning, 1 teaspoon of Lawrys, and 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Go ahead and give everything a good stir until that is well combined. And we're just going to go ahead and add a generous amount to both sides. So if you notice, I'm only seasoning the outside of the patty. As you notice, I did not add the ground beef and then mix it all together. When you do it that way, your patty will be very dry. You don't want that. You want a nice juicy burger. In order to achieve that, we're only going to be seasoning the outside of the patty, almost like you would do a steak. And just go ahead and season these to taste. As you notice, I did not use all of my seasonings. You are going to have some left over. Just go ahead and set that aside and use that for a different recipe. Alright, so now let's go ahead and heat our skillet to a medium to high heat, and we're going to go ahead and add in our patties. I'm only going to be adding in 2 at a time, that way I don't overcrowd my pan. Alright, so once you've added them in, I'm going to use my spatula and just smash that down, that way I can get the shape that I want. And after you smash that down, go ahead and leave that. Don't smash it down anymore, because then you are going to let all of those juices seep out. So after about 5 minutes, you're going to go ahead and flip that over. Then you're going to wait about 2 minutes. Then you're going to add on your 2 slices of cheddar cheese, and then you're going to let that patty cook for the remaining 3 minutes. So basically you're cooking them for 5 minutes on each side. Now that my patties are done, I'm just going to go ahead and stack that on top just like this. That way it'll make it easier when we put our patties together later. Alright, so now we are going to move on and we are going to make our caramelized onions. So to that same pan, I'm going to add in my 1 large onion that I just went ahead and chopped up. And at this point, you want to make sure you put your heat down to at least a low. You want these onions to cook nice and slow. Now I'm just going to take a half of a beef bouillon cube, crush that up, and add that to my onions as well. Then we're just going to go ahead and give that a good stir. I'm also going to add in 1 teaspoon of accent and 1 teaspoon of black pepper and a teaspoon of complete seasoning. To that, I'm going to also add in 1/3 of a cup of Worcestershire sauce. Give that a good stir. And at this point, you're just going to let them cook on low for at least 30 to 45 minutes. When it comes to caramelized onions, the key is just to do it low and slow. That way, those onions can get nice and caramelized. If you cook it on a high heat, they are going to burn before they caramelize. All right, and if you cook it nice and slow, they get nice and sweet. That's what you want. Once they look like this, you can go ahead and remove those from your pan. And now we can get started on our bacon patties. So to a baking dish, you're going to add in 3 slices of bacon. Make sure those bacons are cut in half so they're not as long. And what you're going to do is just take that middle piece, lift that up, and you're going to put the front piece right under that. And then we're going to take the second piece, put that right on top, and it's just going to interlock like so. The point of weaving the bacon like this is that way when we make our burgers, when you bite into it, that bacon doesn't fall out and you just get an even amount of bacon all over. All right, so now that we are done doing that, we're gonna go ahead and pop that in the oven on 350 for about 15 to 20 minutes. When it is done, your bacon should look a little bit something like this. And now we can move on to toasting our buns, which is super simple, guys. Now, I would suggest using a brioche bun for this recipe, but at the store, all I had was regular hamburger buns. So that's what I'm gonna be using. And you're just gonna go ahead and spread that with some butter. Once that is all spreaded, you're going to heat your saucepan to a medium to high heat, and you're just going to let that cook on each side for at least 1 to 3 minutes. No more than that, because these pieces of bread do tend to burn really fast. So you want to be quick. So now that they are nice and browned on each side, it is time to move on to our sauce. So in a separate bowl, we're going to go ahead and add in 4 tablespoons of mayo, 2 tablespoons of ketchup, 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, 1 teaspoon of yellow mustard, 1 tablespoon of sriracha, and 1 teaspoon of sugar. Go ahead and mix everything together until it's a smooth, silky consistency. And let me tell you, that sauce is nice and sweet and savory, and it's got a nice kick to it. It definitely brings this double bacon cheeseburger up a notch. All right, so now it's time to assemble our burger. So of course, you're going to start off with the sauce, add on the 2 buns, then we're going to add on our bacon patty. And then last but not least, we are going to add on our caramelized onions. We're going to top it off with some more sauce on our bun. And there you have it, a double bacon cheeseburger. I hope you guys all enjoyed this easy burger recipe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.